Hey, Emma, this team, the starting five averages 11 and a half years of experience in the league, so just a ton of veteran experience. How are you guys influenced by that veteran experience in these moments where your back's against the wall?
It's not just in a game, it's after the game, before the game, during the game, during timeouts, and in practices, we just, like you said, they have so much experience and all in different teams or overseas, and all that together, we try to make it, one chemistry. And, it's sometimes really amazing to see they're really smart, and I'm just learning, talking as well. But I think this is one of our strengths,
You talk about before the game, after the game. Is there anything specific that, those three veteran leaders of Sloot, Allie, and Candace, said over this week that really stands out to you? Said or did?
It's been all season long, it's just adapting stuff. I think this week it was mainly about staying together and, being really aggressive and, pay attention to the details because, we have to do that in playoffs.
Go Maggie and then Stephen in the back.
Hi, Emma. You were really basically doing the dirty work in the paint tonight. So I'm just kind of wondering, do you like playing that kind of thing where you're because you and Jonquel were really going at each other in the paint, and it was fun to watch, but I don't know if it was fun to do.
Depends on how many bruises I have tomorrow. It's part of basketball, Connecticut is a pretty physical team, so we're up for it. If we don't do it, that's when we lose a game. So it's not that it's by surprise. We know what we have to do, and being physical is part of it.
Stephen?
Hey, Emma. So you set a tone early today with your activity at the level of the screen and just, getting deflections and kind of hedging out and just getting in the way. Was that a point of emphasis individually for you to, kind of just get things going and kind of, resemble Sky basketball more defensively today?
It's part of a game plan, probably. We know that we have to be more aggressive than last game because we were not aggressive enough. We've been talking about, creating our own reality and making others live it, and being aggressive in defense, and let them take a step back. That's part of it.
And then, so it seemed like coming out of the hedging and the trapping that they were giving you guys offensively, you were typically the player that was flashing to be the release valve to connect to next parts of the offense. Just how does it feel like when you're that specific player and then kind of trying to read the defense when, to find the advantages on the second side and things like that?
That's what I like about basketball. It's a game that you actually can read. So to be able to do that here with players that are all connected to each other, it's pretty fun, because maybe your pass is not going to be an assist, but you know that it's going to lead to the next assist. And when we do that, play that kind of beautiful basketball, it makes it so easy to play these games. So every time I think we've been growing doing that, and I know that there's more to come.
Second row on the left.
Hi, I'm Jack Maloney, CBS Sports. Another great game from Candace tonight. Just how impressed have you been watching her the last two games?
Can you say again?
Another great game from Candace tonight. Just how impressed have you been with her the last two games?
Not more than last game, because she's had so many different great games, and even if she's having less stats, she's still doing so many great things on the court, like being a great leader. So I don't think there's enough words. I think that's your job to find them. But to just describe what she's been doing on the court. She's everywhere, in defense, offense. Off court, she's been very vocal. And I think I'm happy to play with her in these series because going against her is not fun, I think.
Hey, Emma. Obviously, the Sun are a really dominant team normally on the offensive boards, but you guys were able to hold them to only 6, I believe, second chance points today. What do you think was working in terms of being able to keep them off of those offensive boards today?
we were really prepared for it. It's being physical. You know that you just throw your body in there, and then we know that other people can come in and take the board. But we know if you take that point away from the Sun, it's a big part of their game. I think the league in offensive rebounds. So I think having them only have 7 offensive rebounds, that's a pretty good job.
And then they were able to really shut Sloot down in the first game, but she was back to being able to facilitate and assist the offense just as her normal form today. What is the difference, do you notice, between her having an off game and then when she's back on today? Just how different is the offense when she's at the top of her game?
That's what you said. Like, it facilitates the game for us. You know, I think today she had like a couple of great passes that nobody saw coming. Again, and you know, I even think on an off day she's still doing her job. You know, maybe she like having the pre-assist is big too, and reading and like leading the team or like telling the teammates what to do. I think that's what she did last game too. But having her back today, like in the assisting and scoring and everything, it's what Sloot does. You know, I love it. I've been playing with her for 4 years, maybe. I love her.
We'll go Josh and then Alexa.
Hey, Emma, you all have been so good following a loss this season. What do you attribute to that?
I try to be more aggressive. I always try to do my job in defense because it's being physical. In offense, I made a point of looking to the basket more. I mean, I can't always decide if they go in or not, but I can't let it, you know, impact my game after if I miss in the beginning. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do today.
Do you think the team as a whole, though, has a different mindset after they lose the game, kind of the back against the wall?
Because, last game, our defense was okay, I think. It's just us missing shots and not playing together. And we know we can make shots. I know Ali made shots today, and I think we missed a lot of open threes, even though we got them. I think it was one of the games that we got the most open threes, like completely open. We just weren't able to put them in. So it's all just about, you know, having trust in ourselves, like sticking together and like talking to each other, like, you know, just take it. And now they went in.
Alexa?
Hi, Emma. How important has it been? There's been a lot of discussion, I guess, among the coaches about imposing your will in terms of which style of play. Was it going to be messy like the way Connecticut wants to play, or pretty and free-flowing like you all like to play? How important was that going into this game of trying to impose your will from the get-go and come out with such a strong first quarter, the way you want to play?
Very. It's one of our keys, like to start games, to play the whole 40 minutes like that. It makes it easier for us, especially in defense. Like if you're very aggressive, it tends to like get us going better in offense as well. You know, it gets us in the flow and like keeps the momentum up, and it gives us good energy. You know, when you try to get like 3 stops in a row and then you score off of it, that's a great feeling.
Any more questions for Emma? Last 2, 1 question each. We'll go Gavin, and then we'll go back row.
Emma, James practically said you guys were definitely going to make more shots today before the game. I wonder how he talks to you guys about such things. You know, he seems to never lack for confidence in his team.
Same way that he does to you, I think. He's very confident in us, and he makes a point of it, like to pass it on to us. Like he would say it multiple times, and sometimes you're like, oh, maybe too much confidence, but he tends to be right. So don't tell him, but it's true.
Last question.
Hey, Emma, after game 1, only 2 starters had at least 3 assists. That was you and Candace at 5 and 7. But today, at least 4 starters finished with at least 3. What clicked for you guys to get back to your game, and backdoor cutting was been successful all season?
It helps that we made more shots. So we know that we have great passers. And I think today everybody was moving, and we kept moving the ball, and at some point, like somebody was wide open. So it's just a point of making the easy shots and layups, exactly.